Welcome to Stoic Legacy, where ancient Stoic wisdom meets modern life. Every video is designed to help you think clearly, stay calm under pressure, and build an unshakable mindset. Let's begin. Have you ever noticed that some people don't appreciate your presence until you're gone? While you were always available, they took your kindness for granted. Your messages became expected. Your loyalty became ordinary. Your love became invisible. But the moment you stopped chasing, stopped explaining, and quietly walked away, something changed. Suddenly, they started wondering where you went. They checked your profile. They replayed old conversations. They felt a silence they had never noticed before. Why does this happen? The answer isn't manipulation. It isn't revenge. And it certainly isn't about making someone regret losing you. More than 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosophers understood a truth that many people still struggle to accept today. People rarely value what is always available. They value what they realize they can no longer reach. But here's the deeper lesson. Walking away isn't about making someone miss you. It's about finally choosing yourself. By the end of this video, you'll understand why silence often speaks louder than arguments, why distance reveals true value, and why the greatest victory is never getting someone back. It's becoming someone who no longer needs them to return. There comes a moment in almost every relationship when you realize something painful. You're the only one trying. You're the first to text, the first to apologize, the first to compromise. You keep telling yourself that if you love a little harder, become a little more patient, or sacrifice a little more of yourself, things will eventually change. But instead of bringing you closer, your effort becomes expected. Your kindness is mistaken for weakness. Your availability becomes ordinary. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin losing yourself while trying not to lose someone else. Epictetus warned that whenever your happiness depends entirely on another person, you've surrendered your freedom. Not because they intended to control why. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze it, the faster it slips through your fingers. Relationships often work the same way. The more desperately you try to hold on to someone who is pulling away, the more they feel pressured. The more messages you send, the more explanations you offer, the more you beg to be understood, the less your words seem to matter. People don't value desperation. They value authenticity. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that nothing external truly belongs to us forever. People come. People leave. Circumstances change. Trying to force someone to stay is like trying to stop the sunset. You exhaust yourself fighting something that was never yours to control. Real strength begins when you stop chasing what refuses to stay. Here's something most people never realize. Your constant presence can accidentally hide your value. Think about electricity. Most people never appreciate it until the lights go out. Only then do they realize how much they depended on it. Human relationships can be surprisingly similar. When someone knows you'll always forgive them, always answer, always wait, they stop noticing the effort behind your love. Not because they're evil, because familiarity often blinds people to value. Distance removes that blindness. Silence creates space for reflection. Your absence forces them to experience life without everything you quietly brought into it. Sometimes that's the first moment they truly understand what they had. Not because you punished them, because reality finally taught the lesson your words never could. But here's where many people make a mistake. They walk away hoping the other person will chase them. That's not Stoicism. That's another form of attachment. If every step away is secretly taken in hopes they'll run after you, then emotionally, you never actually left. The Stoics didn't practice detachment to manipulate people. They practiced it to protect their peace. When you walk away, do it because you've accepted reality. Do it because you've recognized that love cannot be forced. Do it because you've decided your self-respect matters more than temporary attention. Ironically, that quiet confidence is often what people notice most. Confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't demand recognition. It simply moves forward. Seneca once wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about how many nights you've spent imagining conversations that never happened, wondering what they're doing, who they're with, whether they're thinking about you. Meanwhile, life continues moving forward. Every minute spent trapped inside those thoughts is another minute stolen from your own future. The Stoic refuses to waste today mourning possibilities that no longer exist. Instead, they ask a different question. What kind of person do I want to become now? That question changes everything. Because your energy stops flowing toward someone else's absence and starts flowing toward your own growth. Picture two gardens standing side by side. One gardener spends every day staring through the fence, wishing they had their neighbor's flowers. The other waters their own. Months later, one garden is dying. The other is overflowing with life. Your attention works exactly the same way. Where you place it, life grows. If all your energy remains focused on someone who left, your own life slowly begins to fade. But when you invest that same energy into your health, your goals, your friendships, your purpose, something remarkable happens. You stop needing closure from someone else because you've created fulfillment within yourself. That's when your confidence becomes genuine. Not because someone chose you, because you finally chose yourself. Ironically, this is often the moment people begin to notice your absence. Not because you've become louder, because you've become quieter. You stop trying to prove your worth. You stop seeking validation. You stop chasing people who never appreciated your effort. And in that silence, something changes. People begin remembering the conversations they ignored, the loyalty they overlooked, the peace they took for granted. Your absence becomes louder than your presence ever was. But by then, you're no longer waiting. You've already continued walking. Marcus Aurelius believed that your character should never depend on how others treat you. If someone fails to appreciate your kindness, remain kind. If someone leaves, remain peaceful. If someone misunderstands you, remain truthful. Because character isn't tested when life is easy. It's revealed when life becomes difficult. Anyone can remain calm while everything goes their way. The real challenge is remaining grounded after disappointment. That's where Stoicism becomes more than philosophy. It becomes a way of living. Here's the truth most people discover too late. Sometimes they will miss you. Sometimes they'll regret losing you. Sometimes they'll return. But sometimes they won't. And you must be emotionally prepared for both outcomes. If your healing depends on their regret, you're still giving them control over your happiness. The Stoic seeks something much greater than revenge. Freedom. Freedom from needing apologies. Freedom from needing explanations. Freedom from waiting for someone else's realization before allowing yourself to move forward. That freedom is priceless. Because once your peace belongs entirely to you, no one can take it away again. So if you're standing at the edge of a decision today, wondering whether to keep chasing, keep explaining, keep sacrificing yourself for someone who continues to walk away, remember this. Walking away isn't giving up. It's recognizing that your dignity has value. It's understanding that love without respect slowly becomes suffering. It's choosing peace over endless uncertainty. The strongest people aren't those who force others to stay. They're the ones courageous enough to release what no longer serves them. And when they do, something incredible happens. They don't just lose the relationship. They rediscover themselves. One day, the person who overlooked your value may finally understand what they lost. But whether they do or they don't, your mission remains the same. Keep growing. Keep healing. Keep becoming the kind of person whose happiness isn't dependent on another person's recognition. Because the greatest Stoic lesson is this. The moment you stop chasing what was never meant for you, you create space for what truly belongs in your life. Walk away with peace. Walk away with dignity. And most importantly, walk away knowing that your worth was never determined by someone else's ability to see it.